Hey guys! So I'm back. Sorry it's been a while since I've vlogged. But it's gonna be story time today. I went to Hong Kong on Monday. It is now Wednesday, but I want to talk to you about Tuesday. So Tuesday we had gone, we had just returned from a visa renewal. We got back rather late in the evening of that morning. How do you say that? We got back rather early that morning, so we got in around 1. We were all exhausted, so we decided to call out all our church activities for the day, and so we just had a lax morning at home. I finished reading the book Radical, which ashamedly I've been working on reading for the past 4 months. Finally finished it. Super good. I highly recommend it. But then 4 o'clock rolled around and we had remembered that the kids at Dashi school told us for their physical education that day, their PE time, that they were going to go out to the beach and go surfing on Tuesdays at 4 o'clock. So we hurried, we gathered all our stuff, we biked as fast as we could down to the church, we get our boards out, we get our sunscreen on, we go out of the back door of the church and we see all the kids walking home along the seawall. And we're like, I thought you guys were supposed to go surfing today, you know. We hailed them and we're like, hey guys, what's going on? And so apparently the principal had been busy, had something going tonight, Tuesday, so they went ahead and did the surfing PE time on Monday instead, and we were all out of the country, so whoops. But we decided, since we had our boards out and we're all sunscreened up, we might as well just head down to the beach anyways. So we grabbed a surfboard instead of the boogies and we went ahead and walked down to Honeymoon Bay, which is like the surfing beach in Dashi. And so we go down there, we're sitting in the sand, we catch a few waves, we come on in, are making some sand castles, and then Elliot Chan shows up with her son. And we're like, oh hey Elliot, Caitlin had forgotten, she invited her down, so we hung out on the beach with Elliot. And then we get someone calls out from behind us, and Robert Wu, the surfer that I had talked about before, I'll insert a clip, but he was the guy that showed up at our house with Rita and Rosa the other day, and we ended up playing instruments with him. And so he walks up behind us and he's like, oh, calls out, he's like, hey, do you guys know where Dashi Church is? And we turn around and it's Robert. He jokes with us, he's like, hey, how are you guys doing? It's been a while since we had seen him. And so we sit down there and we talk to him a while about church and about God and what we were doing here. And he talked about a Catholic church that's up in the mountains in a town named Jiaxi, and about wanting to invite us down to Jiaxi to go and see that. And we're like, oh yeah, you know, that'd be super cool. And he was talking about the crucifix and how beautiful it looks. And Robert's not a Christian. But God has definitely used him so mightily in our area. And I don't know if you've heard us reference it before, but we call Robert Wu our man of peace in Dashi. And that's referencing chapter 10 of Luke, where Jesus is sending out 72 disciples ahead of him into the neighboring villages. And he's like, don't take any money, don't take any clothes, just take the shoes and the clothes on your back and I'll provide. And he also tells them, you know, go into that place and there will be a man or a son of peace there. And your peace will go out and will be with them, and if not, leave the place. And anyways, I feel like Robert Wu has become our man of peace, our outlet in the community of Dashi. He knows a lot of the surfers, and without being a Christian himself, he is one of the most faithful people to bring and direct people towards the church, toward what we are doing in that area. So in all this, in this story time, I just ask that you guys would be praying for Robert Wu and his salvation, and the opportunities that we have to minister with him, to pray with him, to talk with him, and just get him thinking more and more why he's drawn to this church and why he's pushing other people towards this church, that God would soften his heart and awaken him to the good things that he has in store for Robert Wu. So if you pray for that. And to continue on my story, we are talking with him on the beach, we're meeting other surfers that he knows, and he's like, hey, would you guys like to go up to the mountains? You know, yesterday my wife and I and Luna, his daughter, said we went up and we saw some fireflies. He's like, it was raining though, and tonight the moon's out, it's clear, would you like to come with us? And we're like, oh yeah, absolutely. We've gone up once before and the fireflies here are absolutely gorgeous in the mountains. So we said yes, and he's like, okay, I'll pick you guys up after dinner. So he went ahead, we went home after surfing, we were tired, we had some dinner, and then he comes, shows up at our house, yells through the screen window, I'm here, are you ready to go? And we said yes, we hopped in the car, and he took us up to the mountains, and we saw so many fireflies, and not only that, like half the village that we were surfing with was up there watching the fireflies as well, and it was just super neat. We saw so many of our kindergartners and their parents and all these connections that we have through Family English through Robert. And like we went up to like a trail, it was all fenced off, and we got to hop over, but I just wanted to freeze time, you know, that precious time with this man of peace that God is definitely going to use. And I just ask, I beseech that you guys would pray for him too, that God would just use him mightily in this place, use him for this ministry. You know, God's already using Robert Wu, even though he doesn't know it. And so we're just praying for recognition for him and for his family and for the community, that they would see God, that sweet fragrance of the Lord would just be heavy on this place. And though people but faint glimpse it, you know, that they would be drawn to it. So that's my story time for today. God bless you guys. I thank you guys for tuning in and for praying with me. All right, bye guys. Thank you.